Hi, welcome to my vlog again. It's February 12th, 2015. I wanted to make a video for this. Got something that I personally consider relatively big coming up next week. I'm definitely weird for it, but that's not news. You know that. I actually requested not the day of it, but the following day off of work. Because really, I don't know if I'm going to be, if and what I'm going to be doing for it. Probably nothing. It's really probably going to be as simple as staying up late playing video games. But I really don't want to have to worry about what time I'm getting to bed, having to get up for work the next morning. You know, fuck it. So I requested the day after off. My Gigasecond is coming up next week. I know most of you are probably asking, what the fuck is a Gigasecond? Those of you who don't either already know what it is or haven't surmised from context, because if you've used computers at all, you're probably familiar with the prefix giga. Giga is the metric prefix for 1 billion. On February 18th at approximately 10:30 at night, I will be 1 billion seconds old. It really serves to demonstrate how the human mind is accustomed to thinking linearly as opposed to exponentially. Because if you would ask someone randomly about how long 1 billion seconds is, odds are they wouldn't guess 30 plus years. But it is. 1,000 seconds, which would be a kilosecond, is 16 minutes and 40 seconds. 1 million seconds, which would be a megasecond, is about 11 and a half days. A gigasecond, which is 1 billion seconds, is around 31.7, I believe, years. It's about that. It's about 31 years, 8 months, 1 week. And mine's coming up. I was born on June 12th, 1983. If you want to figure out when your first gigasecond is, you have 2 gigaseconds in your life. 3 if you live to be 95. So most of us get 2. If you want to figure out when your first gigasecond is, it's actually really easy because it's very close to your 32nd birthday. And 32 is divisible by 4. So you really don't have to worry about accounting for leap years, with one very special exception. If those 32 years happen to include a century year that is not divisible by 400, i.e. 1700, 1800, and 1900, those were not leap years. 2000, however, was. So for anyone watching this, you don't have to worry about those exceptions. If an exception like that would apply, then it's just 1 day later. If you want to figure out when your first gigasecond is, you take the date of your 32nd birthday and subtract 114 days, which is also easier than it sounds. Because you can, it's probably fairly obvious. The number of days from any given day to the corresponding day in the following month is equal to the number of days in the current month. For example, today is February 12th. The number of days until March 12th would then be 28. Excuse me, I have a bit of a congestion, so I'm going to be clearing my throat fairly frequently here. So if you want to figure out the number of days from, say, today to the corresponding day, actually being February 12th, we can figure out the number of days to my birthday, June 12th, by adding together the number of days in February, March, April, and May, which is 28, 31, 30, and 31, which comes out to 120. So we are now 120 days before my 32nd birthday. Your gigasecond day is 114 days before your 32nd birthday. So it's just going to be 6 days later than today, February 18th, for me. And then you take your time of birth, add 1 hour, 1 hour, 46 minutes, and 40 seconds to your time of birth. I believe I was born at 8:44. So it comes out to about 10:30. Really, the only other thing you would have to account for would be leap seconds, and don't bother. They're added at irregular intervals, and you're not going to get it down to the second because your birth certificate doesn't include seconds. So you're not going to be able to be that precise in the first place. But 114 days before your 32nd birthday, and then add to your time of birth 1 hour, 46 minutes, 40 seconds. So about 1 hour and 47 minutes. Again, you're not going to be really precise with it. If you want to figure out your second gigasecond, it's a little trickier. I can do it pretty quickly. You would, for that one, you're going to take your 63rd birthday and add 137 days. It's 137 days after your 63rd birthday, unless the 114 days following that day includes a leap year, like February 29th, the day February 29th. If that occurs within the next 114 days after the day you figure out, I know this is getting confusing, which is 137 days after your 63rd birthday, it would then just be the following day. And then you would add 3 hours and 33 minutes to your time of birth, and you can figure out your second gigasecond. If you're curious, if you want to know, and you're lost in all of that, by all means, you can leave a comment below with your date of birth and year, and I'll be able to figure it out pretty quickly. I can let you know when your first and second gigaseconds are. Yeah, so mine's coming up next week on the 18th. Yeah, just a little bit of trivia. A gigasecond is 31.7 years, about. And then going beyond that, the next 1,000, the next 3 factors of 10, however you want to put it, would be a terasecond, which is about 31,700 years. It gets easier going beyond gigaseconds, because then you're just adding zeros rather than, you know, with the megasecond you're figuring out hours and converting to days. So terasecond is about 31,700 years. The next one up would be Gigatera Petasecond, which is 31.7 million years. And if you go one above that, it's exasecond. And it sounds kind of funny, but the universe hasn't even existed for 1 exasecond yet. It's 31.7 billion years. And the current model of the universe, the Big Bang Theory, not the show, the theory, suggests, I know I'm being stupid, just humor me, suggests that the universe came into existence about 13.6 or 7, 13.7 billion years ago, which is 1 over 2.5, I believe, of an exasecond. If you want to go above that, I believe the next one is Zetasecond. Zeta is, oh god, Tera is a trillion, Peta is a quadrillion, Exa is a quintillion, so Zeta would be a sextillion seconds. And above that is Yada, which is a septillion seconds. I know, it's all fucking fascinating, isn't it? Probably put you to sleep by now, but yeah, there you have it. Billion seconds. 31.7 years. You cannot physically count to a billion. If you did it one number per second, it would take over almost 32 years, and you'd have to somehow stay awake the entire time. Or you could just continue after you woke up, I guess. I don't know, I'm getting hypothetical here. I'm just babbling. May as well explain this, what's right behind me here, because that was kind of cool. Back in 2012, I participated in this thing that I think it was the Discovery Channel had going. It was pretty neat. On a certain day, between certain times, I think it was like 8 and 10 p.m., you could go on Twitter and tweet with the hashtag chasing UFOs. And what they did was they crowdsourced all the tweets that were received with that hashtag during that time and beamed them into space. They allegedly beamed them at stars that are believed to have planets around them that are considered the most likely to have life on them. I could be mistaken about this, but I don't think it's within our capability to accurately target a planet orbiting another star. I'm pretty sure what's going to happen with those tweets that they beamed is that they're just going to fly off forever into space. Anyway, I chose to tweet what is essentially the underlying, the core of my philosophy. I've developed a it's actually pretty mind-blowing. I'm not going to get into it right now. It'll take hours. It's basically based on causality and is at its core deterministic. I tweeted the underlying philosophy of that, which was, all that is fate, a continuous, ever-expanding cycle of identity and circumstance. And that message is right now flying through space at the speed of light, 186,282 miles per second. It was beamed out on August 15th of 2012. This is about 2.5 light years away right now. Really far. It's about, I believe right now it's about 157 astronomical units. An astronomical unit is the distance from the Earth to the Sun. So if you were where it is right now, the Sun really would look like any other star in the sky. Would be about 157,000th of its size, its apparent size from Earth. And yet, 2.5 light years away, it's been traveling at the speed of light for 2.5 years. It's still closer to the Sun than it is to any other star. Because space is fucking big and fucking empty. It sounds like I'm stating the obvious, but believe me, much bigger and much emptier than you're probably imagining it. So what I did here, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it in the video, and I apologize if you can't, but it was beamed out along 3 trajectories. I plotted 2 of them here. They're the red arrows. And plotted the relative position of a few nearby stars. You've got Alpha Centauri, the Alpha Centauri system here. That's Proxima Centauri, Alpha Centauri A, and Alpha Centauri B. About 4.25 light years away. That's the closest stars. Proxima Centauri is the closest. A few others here. Here's Sirius, Barnard's star. And Sagittarius A star, which is the supermassive black hole at the center of the galaxy. That's really far away. That's about 26,000 light years. So yeah, that was just kind of something I did. Not really relevant to the whole gigasecond thing, but just for the hell of it, it was right there behind me. I thought I'd go ahead and explain it.